Good day everyone, we are the last group and we will discuss topic 10. Water and Wastewater System. Presented by Vicente Ashley, Makabata Kathleen Rose, and Molbog Aldrich Ding. Electricity, steam, and water are commonly used in lodging, facilities for bathing and sanitation purposes, in guest quarters, and for drinking and cleaning activities in and around the hotel. In addition, water is used for sanitation and cooking purposes in restaurants, for washing in laundry activities, for recreational or landscaping purposes, such as in swimming pools or decorative ponds, for fire protection system, and as cooling medium for different pieces of equipment. The bulk of the use water in dispose of through the sewer system of the property. Make up water used in cooling towers and swimming pools, and the water used on lawns and shrubs are exceptions to this. Objectives. At the end of the chapter, the student will be able to, number 1, outline the importance of proper water and wastewater system in the hospitality industry. Number 2, identify different possible concerns with the quality of water and wastewater system in hospitality establishment. Number 3, enumerate the different usage of water in hospitality, tourism, and leisure establishment. And last, number 4, discuss water heating concept and explain why they are important in hospitality and tourism establishment. Water usage in the lodging industry. The annual water consumption of the world's lodging industry is in hundreds of billions of gallons and costs millions of dollars. Real use and cost level of individual hotels differ dramatically by type of hotel, venue, service, and water use management. These statistics indicate that hotel with one-site laundry operation for which study data are available, for example, show that the laundry water consumption range from 5% to 29% of total water consumption. For the percentage of total consumption expressed by kitchen and cooling towers, there were identical range. For some properties, 20% or more of overall water use was reflected by landscaping, the type of utilities equipment, indoor and outdoor, and facilities influence not only total consumption but also the distribution of consumption in the categories of use. Kaseyam et al. 2014. The high disposal costs show the potential advantage of using a deduct meter in supplying water to cooling towers, irrigation, and to lesser extent the swimming pool, which together can make up 50% or more of the overall water use of facilities, although about 20% is more typical. The deduct meter submit water use for those purposes in order to deduct it from the bill of disposal. Also, a deduct meter enables customer to realize a savings for water and does not enter the sanitary sewage system. Example of water that does not enter the system: lawn sprinkler system, swimming pools. Bulintal et al. 2008 found out in their study that 60% of those with cooling tower facilities and 40% of those with irrigation use the deduct meter. This percentage shows that many properties that would benefit from the deduct metering do not use it because 75% of the water utilities studied allowed the deduct meter. The advantage of using the deduct meter on pools is much more restricted than on cooling towers or irrigation, given the relatively low water use attribute to swimming pool in the same report. This is possibly one of the reasons why just 22% of pool properties use the deduct meter. Water system. A number of sources, including man-made or natural sources such as wells, rainwater collection, reservoirs, rivers, seas, and the ocean, can provide water. Hotel operation can get their water supply from a water utility near them. In building cooling and heating system, the chilled and heated water circulated is not part of what is usually considered to be the building water system. Water is not potable in such system. A hotel establishment needs a lot of water for various essential functions. An average figure will be 200 liters per person per day. Cold water is used for diverse functions in a hotel like drinking, cooking in the kitchen restaurant, and laboratory wash sink and wash bins. Laboratory flush, laundry, estate and floor cleaning purposes, fire sprinkler system, cooling the diesel generating set, refrigerator plant, etc. Hot water and boiler make up water, gardening, etc. In swimming pool and other water bodies, if any. Backflow prevents are used to prevent water from flowing from one subsystem to another. Example, backflow preventer or an external hose link may prevent the water standing in a hose from re-entering the building water system. The devices that are installed hotel water pipes that only allow water to flow in one direction and not the opposite. Their purpose is to prevent drinking water from being contaminated with other sources because of backflow. Storm sewer system is active in rainwater disposal. It flows directly to a certain discharge site where the rainwater joins a river, lake, or other drainage channel. The sanitary sewage system, by comparison, is interested in the collection of the facility's waste materials. These can transport waste materials to a sewage treatment plant. They can often be found built into roadside curbs, alleys, or basement floor. Storm drains often carry rainwater and melted snow through an underground system that ends up in nearby rivers, creeks, or the ocean. A storm sewer contains untreated water.
So, what is water quality? Depending on how the water is used, water quality requires a variety of elements that vary in value. Potability, that is, suitability for drinking, is obviously the most significant concern. For visitors and staff, potability is of special concern. This includes researching a number of criteria including the presence of bacteria, nitrates, trace metals, and organic chemicals in the water. Color, odor, clearness, mineral content, and acidity or alkalinity are other water quality issues not specifically linked to potability. Potability problems were largely restricted at one time to question about coliform bacteria, which indicate the presence of human or animal feces in the water supply. When a well is used and the well becomes polluted by the surrounding septic system, such contamination may occur. The standard remedy is chlorination therapy. However, iodinization or ultraviolet radiation is used in some cases. Fertilizer, pesticides, herbicides, gasoline, and other hydrocarbons. The softening of water in order to minimize high levels of calcium, magnesium, and low levels of manganese and iron in the water supply is a popular treatment process. In boilers, water heaters, and heating elements, calcium and magnesium can generate scale, a buildup of minerals. Furthermore, hard water makes it difficult to produce a soapy latter, produces an irksome soap scum, and leaves spots of minerals as it evaporates that can decrease the consistency and life of the linen. Iron and manganese stain plumbing, fixtures, and linens. The degree of softening needed should be calculated by a water quality expert since over softening can create pipe and equipment corrosion problems. Since softening requires replacing the hardness causing minerals with sodium, except in special conditions, softened water should not be used for potable purposes. Discharge or sewage water. There was a time when hotels and restaurants did not pay much attention to the amount or state of water they discharged into the sewage system. It was only necessary for managers to ensure that rainwater did not reach the system and that grease traps worked. Yet times have changed. Hard water is defined as water that has a high C concentrations of minerals such as calcium, magnesium, manganese, and other cations. Hard water is formed naturally when water passes through rocks such as limestone and chalk, which contains minerals such as calcium carbonate and magnesium carbonate. Soft water, unlike hard water, has a low ion content, particularly calcium and magnesium. The soft water is usually found on the surface itself. Rainwater is the most prevalent source of soft water. A specific amount of calcium and magnesium is required by our bodies. If you only drink soft water, your body will be depleted of important minerals, which might have a detrimental influence on your health. As you can see in the picture, they use the ion exchange softening procedure. So ion exchange can be used to remove hardness. Ion exchange replaces calcium and magnesium with a non-hardness cation, usually sodium in water softening, in a solid interface or matrix through which the flow passes. Calcium and magnesium in solution are removed by exchange with sodium. The ion exchanger, like the filter, has a granular material bed, a flow distributor, and an influent vessel that collects the product. Green sand, aluminum silicate, synthetic siliceous gels, bentonite clay, sulfonated coal, and synthetic organic resins are examples of exchange media. They are commonly in particle form, with a diameter of up to zero point 0.5 milliliter. Artificial organic resins are used more frequently in modern applications. These spherical, clear BB-sized resins have the benefit of having a larger number of exchange sites. Each of these resin spheres contains sodium ions, which are exchanged for calcium and magnesium in the water. The, the reaction is nearly rapid and complete if exchange sites are accessible. When all the exchange sites have been used, the influent begins to harden, which is referred to as breakthrough. So the breakthrough necessitates the renewal of the medium by exposing it to a concentrated sodium chloride solution. Water heating. For applications ranging from guest showers to washing, hotels need large quantities of hot water. The cost of heating water almost invariably exceeds that of the cost of actual water itself. Hot water requirements are potentially the highest for guest rooms, laundry, and kitchen applications. Major users can also be employee locker rooms and fitness club services. Both of these needs are theoretically distinct and should be discussed individually. There are hot water standards for guest rooms at all hotels. At certain properties, these requirements can be very concentrated, occurring mainly during the early morning wake up time. Using a mix of hot water storage and production facilities, properties usually aim to satisfy these needs. Some hotels have resorted to raising hot water supply temperatures in order to meet these focused needs. This is a potentially dangerous strategy because water temperatures above 115 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 Celsius can scald users. Water heating options. Choosing from among the different water heating options available requires making smart decisions about equipment and sources of fuel. Perhaps the most popular are directly fired water heaters. In many residences, restaurants, and lodging establishments, these are the standard water heaters. A source of fuel is burned and heat is transferred to the water. As a factor of combustion, oxygen is needed for all fuel sources except electricity. A fuel is then sent up to the combustion gases. Directly fired units can be have storage tanks that are central or distinct. Indirectly fired water heaters are more likely to be used in steam installations. A coil or heat exchanger enters the steam, which transfers heat from the steam to the water. In these systems, the steam is usually kept separate from the water. Since a fuel is required only where steam is manufactured rather than in water heater, indirectly fired units can be located in cellars without access to outside air or in similar locations. Heat pump water heaters collect heat from the air in a building, from the air outside, or from a source of water. To remove heat from the air or water and pass it to the water being heated, a heat pump water heater uses a refrigeration cycle. There is no combustion or need for a fuel as the refrigeration systems runs on electricity. As the refrigeration cycle uses less energy than electric resistance heating, heat pump water heaters can provide relatively cheap hot water. The cooling cycle also transfers heat from electric resistors and gas-fired water heaters with greater efficiencies. Heat pump water heaters will very easily pay for themselves, often in less than 1 year.
Water system maintenance concern. Ang water system maintenance concern ay hindi gaanong nagtitake ng maraming oras at pera. Meaning to say na it is relatively cheaper than the other maintenance. The preventive maintenance activities related to water system cover tasks such as treating water to make it suitable for its intended application. First one, replacing artificial anodes which minimize pipe corrosion in water heaters, washing filters and strainers, lubricate pumps, checking how to configure the water temperature, and lastly, checking the pressure relief valves for proper operation of water heaters. In addition, the repair of leaking valves and general caulking and sealing around fixtures consist of guest room and maintenance. Many kinds of corrosion are possible. Leading factors include the water's pH level. The water pH level must be between 7.2 to 7.6 and slightly alkaline. The amount of Next is the amount of oxygen that is present in the water, the chemical makeup of the water, the amount and galvanic corrosion inside or in contact with the piping device through the use of dissimilar metals and the temperature of the water. Next is water for entertainment and recreation. People use the nation's rivers, lakes, and coastal waters for many different forms of recreation. Some recreational activities take place in or on the water such as swimming, boating, fishing, whitewater rafting, and surfing. Next slide. The water quality of these bodies of water is clearly very critical for those activities that take advantage of natural water features such as oceans and lakes. Blue Flag is an organization founded in Europe with the goal to protect and preserve the natural characteristic of beaches, marinas, and other marine ecosystem. The focuses on the it focuses on the following fields. First one, the water quality. Water quality describes the condition of the water including chemical, physical, and biological characteristics, usually with respect to its suitability for a particular purpose such as drinking or swimming. Next one is environmental education and information. Environmental education is a process that allows individuals to explore environmental issues, engage in the in problem solving and take action to improve the environment. Next one is environmental management. Environmental management is a process that industries, companies, and individuals undertake to regulate and protect the health of the natural world. And lastly, safety and services. Swimming pool water system. Alam naman natin bago tayo makapag-swimming sa isang pool, may certain machineries at step na ginagawa muna, like amoy na amoy natin yung chlorine sa pool kapag bagong bukas pa lamang nung resort dahil nilinis nila yung pool na nangangailangan ng maraming amount ng chlorine. Kapag nahalo lang sa chlorine at nitrogen, yung, no, nung urine nagiging chlorine na nagkakos ng redness ng ice natin. A water ionizer is a home appliance which claim to raise the pH of drinking water by using electrolysis to separate the incoming water stream to acidic and alkaline components. The alkaline stream of the treated water is called alkaline water. If the pH level gets higher than 7.8, the water is becoming too alkaline. When the water is too alkaline, it reduces the effectiveness of the chlorine, the pool chemical that kills pathogen. Water with a pH that too high can also cause skin rashes, cloudy water, and scaling on pool equipment. Last slide. Water conservation. To manage fresh water sustainably, safeguard the hydrosphere, and satisfy present and future human demand, water conservation policies, methods, and practices are all necessary. Water is influenced by the factors such as a population growth, household size, and income. There are certain steps that have been taken in action to conserve water. Here you can see the installation of low flow shower heads, the gray water usage, and the use of water recycling.